Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. I just was finishing what I was eating there. Obviously, welcome to F2 Bahrain for today's race. Sorry about being silent for so long. I was trying to finish my food as quickly as possible. Obviously, we're here at the Bahrain circuit, one of the most entertaining tracks, in my view, for racing. As proved by last season when we had Drake and Google fight for the first time in F1. But obviously, this is the F2 season. And let's see how this goes, because we might never know, we might have another victory today, because Bahrain's one of those tracks, something can happen, and a safety car could change the whole race. As proven at Silverstone last week in F1. And what results, if you want to watch that. Okay, well, I'm quickly wait for the cars to go on laps, because you've got a few medium runners. I've completely put a tyre on. You've got a few medium runners going out, and some softs, because the softs do quite die off very quickly around this track. So, but the question is probably the one stop is going to be the most used. Maybe soft hards or medium hards are the best strategy. So we'll have to just wait and see how this goes. First car I think that will start the lap, I think is going to be Malberg in the Haas. So I'll introduce the other reserves we've got. We've got Hassan in the Alpine today. We have Sarakaya, who's just signed up, the Turkishman. Comes back to the season in the Alpine. Who else is actually? I'll stay on Melbourne. Goldzik from F3 and Red Bull, now in the Merc alongside Jericho for this race. And I think that should be everyone. Oh, actually no. And then Cappy is another one. Oh, it's a huge one for Melberg there. A huge amount of oversteer, and he managed to hold, and the curves are really biting the Haas driver here, as the Lex is able to join, so both Haas's will be racing today. I'm gonna just wait, sorry, I've just got so distracted by watching that I can really get the standings up. F2 standings. As Aldridge will not be racing today, as he has a family plans, so he will not be racing, so this could open the door for another victor, since we've only had him and Ferret. And Yolmir, who will not be racing either. We've got a few, obviously. So today we've only got Ferret, and only Ferret who's won a race, so we could have another victor today. Could Jericho's luck come to him today? But Malberg's first lap will not be good after huge moments in Sector 1 and 2. So Aldridge leads by 67 points over P2 F1 champ of Kieran. 29.3 is the first lap. Goldsberg goes nearly 2 seconds quicker, and this is when the laps are going to start coming in. Cappy's P2. And then I always get this name. Jericho, though, he's gone soft, and he's 8 tenths quicker. Ferrari, Patuca's go to the line. Ferret's 5 tenths off. Patuca's 8. Wow. Jericho is already putting the gauntlet down. His lap is stunning already. Massiak comes to the line now on mediums. What will he put? P5. Next car, F1 champ, P4 on softs also. Hassan, next car coming across the line. The Turkishman coming to the line now. P5. And who was that? Slippy? Ooh, Slippy spun out in the last corner, so his laps unfortunately are finished. But he's on an outlap, so that might hurt him. Obviously, for the straight line speed for the start finish. Leave your comments leave some messages in the comments, and then see who you think's going to win today. Since the only race winner we've got on the grid right now is Ferret for today's race. Who was that who just jumped up there? I missed that completely. Murphy P5. Sorry, I am literally half awake. Livinal P8. The Tapper. Here he comes to the line now in the Aston Martin P3, but still massive off Jericho's time. Malberg's gone for 2 laps, it looks like it goes P11 now. Good lap by him, and it looks like I think everyone's now in laps. Oh, but that lap by Jericho, again, Jericho showed his superior pace in qualifying. And now it's going to be the question, can his luck hold out for today? Because he's been very unlucky this season. At USA, the rain stopped, and his teammate Liam Cross, who's currently in the Alfa Romeo in F1, stole the victory from Jericho. Brazil just couldn't get the pace back up and just couldn't build up. It's only slippy on a lap. Bios is on an out lap already, so thankfully he's in the session. It's gonna be interesting to see who is going to be in P2, since you've got 3 drivers battling for it now, which is Champ, Patuka, and Jericho. Champ 8 points ahead of both Jericho and Patuka on the same points. But you never know what's going to happen here today, because Bahrain is one of those tracks where the race can be very entertaining. As proven by this year's real Grand Prix, last year's Grand Prix. We're just going to wait and see how this will go. But I'm actually curious who's actually going to have the pole point today and who's actually going to get away. Who is that? Malbek's gone for 3 laps on the mediums. He's 2 seconds slower than the soft run of Jericho, but 3 laps on mediums is a bit... I didn't expect him. He was very wide there. And I think he's going to... Yeah, he's out of fuel probably now. Let's see, is anyone else on a lap? Bios and Martino have just started laps. Bios is into sector 3 now. Clean lap here for him. Obviously, he's Mick Schumacher's helmet, because when you join, it gives you that helmet. Whatever car's not been selected. Oh yeah, Cappy's car, I forget about that. So yeah, Cappy is an F3 reserve today as well. He was in the McLaren normally. He comes to the line now. Bios, what can do for P16 and only P15 at 29.1. So unless he's going for a banker lap, Slippy's got back-to-back laps on the AlphaTauri in softs. I didn't expect it on softs with all tyres. Alright. But I'm quite surprised that many people are trying to use the softs here, because the softs are very volatile around this track. But, you know, you've got to think about it, these guys are a bit crazy sometimes. They've literally all caught Sniper's disease, which is go nuts. Obviously, Snipers was in the F2 race last season in the championship. Unfortunately, lost that at Brazil after crashing out, unfortunately. So he's in F1 alongside Loki Chiefs and the Mercedes right now. Well, not focus on that, as Martino's coming to the line now. It's first time P8 on mediums. He is now the quickest medium runner, I feel like, now. Let's just double check. Yes! By half a tenth on Melberg, who went 3 laps though on his mediums. So I feel like he could have gone quicker if he picked for more fuel. Hassan jumped... No, not Hassan, sorry. Who did I miss this jump up there? Goldzik is on a lap, kind of purple middle sector, but obviously I don't know if that's true or not, because this game is so broken still. This is Ferrari on track, as a lot of the cars are going out for their second laps now in the session. It's going to be see much pace you can get, because Jericho's already put the hammer down by 5 tenths over Ferret. And it shows that Jericho does enjoy this track, it looks like, hugely. As I'm going to go back on board with Goldzig. He's invalidated his lap, so unfortunately he will not improve at P11 at the moment. Who's the first car in the top right now? It is currently Patuka, I believe, in the top 4 right now. He's currently 24, maybe a second slower than Jericho. He's got to pull some time out here if he's going to get anywhere near the Mercedes driver. Yellow flag, just the car slowing down to let car past. And let's see how Patuka goes. As it's further behind, he's got Ferret, Jericho, and Murphy on laps. So let's see, obviously, because this is the curb of death. This will definitely claim someone today. As it did last season and the season before that. He's now a tenth and a half up Patuka. Heading into sector 3 now. As long as he keeps in the line, he could be on for a front row start for the time being. There's an Alpine in the way. And Sarakai, he's just going to stay out of the way. And he might give Patuka a little slip as Sarakai at pits. Patuka comes to the line. It's only a 26.3. Let's jump on board Ferrari. He's next Ferrari. He's 3 seconds down, unless it's glitched. No, he's abandoned the lap. Next car is Jericho. Jericho is still going, and he looks like he's gaining a little bit of time. Is he going to improve his pole position? He does by another tenth. Jericho's on fire today. Next car goes across the line, and there's going to be Murphy jumps to P6 now. Eat My Dust jumps to P10 now. Wow, this is the pace, but Jericho's pace around here is astounding. Barrett's going to have to put something mega in to challenge the British driver. But let's see, Tapper's on a lap, and is that Bios? No. Yeah, that's Bios on outlap. We'll stick on board over Tapper since he's the only car furthest up track to set a lap, and he's under a tenth quicker. As the car get out the way, thankfully, so he blasts us past on the left. And the next car is going to be Wattini, who frankly just notices with Tapper there and does not hinder his lap, because that would have been fun to deal with. Tapper comes to the line now. Will he improve any higher up? P4. That's the Martin driver. Next car, I think, is that as Lebanon's on the outlap. I'm trying to find who's on laps. Hassan bumps to P7 there. Good look at that by the Turkish driver, who's just slowly improving his laps. He's pitting. Is that Goldzik or is it on the in lap? Oh, Masiek, P16 right now in the Alpha. Nearly a second up on his time. As you can definitely tell, he's repping a Lewis Hamilton helmet by looking at that. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Comes to the line now and jumps to P8. The next lap is going to Eat My Dust and Libanal. No, not Eat My Dust, sorry. I meant Gold. So he's just starting it. Oh, wow. Yeah. Sam's just starting to Eat My Dust, retires in the pit lane, so he feels he got. I see why he's done that. I'm gonna see it. Bios, is that? Oh yeah, Malberger. He's just come on the last corner now. He's kept the valley just second up on his time right now. This will jump him hugely up to the grid and goes to P2. He went from the mediums to the softs and absolutely boosted his speed there. But he's still half a tenth behind pole sitter Jericho. I'm lost for words where Jericho's pulled that pace out. Because Bahrain's a track that struggle. Obviously, he literally is Max Verstappen right now in a car that shouldn't be valid. Bios comes to the line now. P18, P12 now. Car behind him was Libanal, who didn't improve his time. Tapper, has he gone back to... No, Tapper pits. I'm trying to find who's trying to finish a lap. Sarakaya, is that him coming to the line? No, he's just started. That's Hassan pitting then. Goldzig, he's gone for another lap, it looks like. So, oh no, he didn't. This is his first lap. And Goldzig, oh my, what a move! Goldzig jumps all the way into P2 also. And he's only 4 tenths off. What a lap there by the F3 driver. And only as Jericho retires, he feels he can't improve that lap anymore and will save tyres for the race. Wow, that's a blinding lap. Like I literally expected Malbec. Oh, just catch there! F1 champ spins. He's just started his lap, and unfortunately, he'll have to go again. Hopefully, get his tyre. Hopefully, he didn't get any damage from that. And it looks like he's fine. He's going to save his ERS and go again. I'm hoping. Because he's got 3 minutes, he should have just enough time. And he was... oh, actually, Ferret's on the lap now, I've just noticed. Ferret, he's come to the second 2 line. How quick is he going? He is 17,000s down. So he can pull the mega last few corners here. He might have to settle for the second row. Because he needs to find at least 2.5 tenths to take the P2 beside Jericho. Ferret comes to the line now. His fuel light is out, and he's abandoned the lap. He's cutting the correct line, but obviously that's fine in pit. Not pit. That's fine during the qualifying, but during the race, if he does that, he probably will be penalised, which is 5 seconds added to his time. Alright, so we probably have maybe some guys might be going out for one more lap here. Now I'm curious, is Champ going to pit for fresh softs, or is he going to just power through with these ones? Champ comes to the line now, and he is. Yes, he is. He looks like he is going. Unless he's going to be playing the mind games and sticking onto medium for the start. This is when the mind games are going to start coming and playing. Like people are going to be deploying the tactics to try and keep the greater tyre. Patuka, Murphy, and I think Slippy. Yeah, Slippy all on outlaps, just about to start. This will be their final lap of the session. Unless they... Yes, it will, because no matter what, it will be their final lap of the session, yes. So everyone's got one more lap to improve their position right now. Jericho is sitting so comfortably in P1. He obviously retired on his second run. But we'll stick aboard Batuka the Ferrari, headed up into Sector 1. Braking hard here for the right-hander. But he doesn't spin like Vettel did, obviously, in this corner in 2019. Keeps it going at nearly a 10-foot Batuka already. So he could get ahead of his teammate here. No one else is on laps ahead, so I'll stick on board as only Kai's coming to the line now in the last corner. I'll jump on board quickly to him because he's just coming. Oh no, that's sorry about that. That's my mistake. Batuka powers down the second DRS section now of the lap. It sticks far to the right, takes a lot of curbing, and then brakes heavily. Kisses the apex, and now he comes round the corner. Here comes the curb of death. You do not want to clip this at all. Keeps it clean, nearly a 10-foot still for Batuka. He could be ahead of his teammate and could actually be in P3 with this lap. Next car behind is Murphy. Will not watch until the end. Batuka's coming to the last corner now. This is his final lap. What will the Ferrari do? Here for Batuka. Comes to the line now. And P3. We'll jump aboard of Murphy quickly. P8 at the moment. P6 now. Next car is Slippy G. P14. Who's that coming by? That is Cappy. He's invalidated of Kai, so he will not be improving. Unless he has more arrests for another lap, but it looks like he do. Ferret's going to start his final lap of the session now. A lot of cars are doing that right now. As they've got 30 seconds of the session to go now, loads of cars are trying to get a lap. The Tapper's burning a huge amount of fuel ready for his lap. So everyone's just trying to gain positions and see how high they can push up. Chap invalidated his outlap, and Chap actually just might make it on the soft run. But I'm just trying to find people who are actually on laps and further up. Hassan moves out the way for cars, he must start wide. I think the first car is going to be Coutinho. So Coutinho started as the session is over now. Chap just made it for one more lap on the softs. As Coutinho will start the train of people finishing their final attempts now in this qualifying. Now Coutinho's currently P18, he's put softs on. Is he going to back off or is he going to go full throttle to the start? And jumps to P9. Coutinho does not get free choice of tyres. And it looks like... No, that's Batuka. Next car is going to be, I think... that's not even so that's a Slippy pitting. Next car is going to be Kai. He's managed to keep his DRS and tyres going for another lap here. Come to the last corner now. Behind him, it is Murphy. He's probably abandoned his lap. And the next car is Ferret, who's going to be on a lap. Happy goes P8. Ferret comes to the line now. What can he do in his final run? And Ferret comes to the line, goes P2. He stops the Mercedes front lockout. And who's just jumped there? I completely missed that. As Gordon takes it back though! It is a Merc turn 2! Next car, Massiette comes to the line, he's abandoned his lap, he will stop P12. Next car is a Tapper, what can he do? He's invalidated. And Goldsig's managed to make it a 1-2 for Merc. And I think that's everyone apart from Biles who's going to abandon his lap. Champ comes to the line now and jumps to P7. So that must be the grid for the race because everyone apart from just mean Lukaku and Biles in the pits and we can get racing here at Bahrain. But what a result by Goldsy to reserve from F3 to be on P2 next to Jericho. That's a great chance to have some good points here for his race. And it's the first Merc obviously front 2 here as well. But we'll have to see how it goes. As people are pointing out, mediums are the best tyre for this track. And obviously P11 might have the golden opportunity if the race doesn't have anything go on. But we'll just have to wait and see how this goes. As there is Jericho takes yet another pole position here this season. But can he finally convert it into a win? Now the Goldzig reserved from F3 into P2. Ferret put Stella on last lap, but Goldzig pinched him off to P3, the second row, along with Malberg in the Haas. Then Batuka, Murphy and Champ, these two being separated by 15 thousandths. then a Tapper, Cappy, and a Watinio does get free choice of tyres after qualifying P9 there, and everyone beat him. So Watinio, Hassan, Masiak, Livenau, Slippy, Bios, Eat My Dust, and Sorikai all get free choice of tyres, and I feel like we'll see mediums everywhere. Well, this is proving that this race might be interesting because you never know what's going to happen now on Bahrain. Will we have a VFC? Will we have a full safety car? Will we see absolute side-by-side racing? And because it's just gonna be I'm just curious how the strategies are gonna work out here, because the best strategy is medium hards. But I feel like some of these guys are gonna be going soft mediums, even though the mediums are gonna be in the puncher territory. Oh well, okay. So just waiting for everyone to pick their fuel and then pit stop windows. And then we should be able to get the formation lap, and then the race here down on the lights at Bahrain. I'll get the tyres set up so everyone can see the tyres. Let's see if I was right. Eat My Dust has gone for hards. Everyone else has got mediums. Obviously everyone top 10 softs, and then one guy of Zolt, Eat My Dust, P17. And he's underfueled as well. Let's see if anyone else is underfueled. Oh wow, it's only Zolt. He's the only one who's underfueled for today's race. So everyone else figures out there won't be a safety car. Well, see, this is going to be a formation lap. This is crucial for this. You have to get your tyres warm up. Because if your tyres are cold for this sector, you are going into the wall completely. And obviously this game, you can't touch the curbing around Bahrain too. Wow, I don't know how to say this race, because Bahrain's one of those tracks you never know what's going to happen, and expect the unexpected. Oh man, I'm a bit lost for words of how to describe the situation going on right now. Just waiting for the formation lap to finish. And then we should get racing here for turn 1, which hopefully won't turn to chaos, because it has a tendency in real life to do it sometimes. But I really hope these drivers will not do stupid dive bombs and all that little move. I'm looking at you, Watinio. But let's see how this race is. The formation lap was going to end. The cars are going to be taken over now. Make sure the tyres are nice and warm for the start. Last car on the grid will be Sarakaya. His debut return P18. Let's see how he can do it today. Alright, last car on the grid will be... Eat My Dust spins out. Zolt spun out on his hards, which that will affect his tyres, because now he won't be able to warm up anymore. So Zolt's going to be the last car on grid now, so the software is going to be setting a little bit longer than what they want. Zolt is going to effectively get to his spot without any problems, it looks like. And then the light should be coming on any minute. So sit back and enjoy the racing here today, everyone. As we're just waiting for the lights. There's the lights on. 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 lights. And we are waiting for Bahrain here. Jericho gets a good start, but Ferrin's good, and Ferrin goes down an awful start as we swap 2 positions. Further back, it looks like Murphy's making a 3 wide. It's going to be the curbs as they're going to keep it going, and nothing looks like massive has happened in turn 1 and 2. Actually, no, Watinio. What's going on with Watinio there? Something's going on there. And Bios, it's because Bios is going for a move on the mediums also. Watinio, what is that? F1 champ Kieran spun around! And he's not in the wall, but he's spun out and soft. Oh wow, there's huge battles going on. Massier, look at this, Livenau with the back of us! And Gold's taking the 2 cars battles side by side. And what? Oh, wow, that was a hectic start to say the least. Wow. But Jericho still holds the lead, but Goldzig absolutely bottled the start on those two positions and had to hold off Batuka. But Watinio was having to hold off Bios, who's all over him on the mediums, remember. So Bios is trying to get past him to get further up in the head of the grid. Chap spun out on his sauce, but he is slowly catching the group now already, past the quicker tyres. Limit might have damage when we caught him on that. As it's Masiek and Bios are now side by side. This is a P11 only. Bios is going to cut the stream, come back across. Oh, that was quite risky there by Bios. Jericho leads the first lap of the Grand Prix. Oh my, there's the DRS train. It's already building, this champ's already making it up to P16. And it looks like no one's going for a crazy dive bomb, it looks like. Unless Masiek can. Oh, yeah, Masiek goes through it and takes the position cleanly. He managed to get the slipstream ERS and get past Bios for P11 now. But he's lost nearly a second to his teammate ahead of him, who's obviously now on the best strategy in P10. He's got everyone ahead of him whose tyres are going to start going off, while his tyres are going to be slow, just getting better and better. Watinio could be on for a great result here today, and he's already caught Kai in the Williams. But we'll have to see though, as further behind it looks like Jericho is showing his pace. He's now a second ahead of Ferret. So when DRS gets activated, Ferret will be under attack by everyone behind him. Oh, but the biggest game for that is Watinio at the start, since he's now in the points, keeping up to the soft runners ahead. And let's jump aboard position changes as Bios gets 4 positions up. Champ loses 9 after his spin. And Goldzig obviously lost 2 at the start. So this race has now opened its door, and obviously we don't know where it's going to take us now. As we're going to start lap 3, DRS is going to be activated the next sector. Yeah, and Ferret is not going to get it. But Malberg might not get it either. So Malberg might be on the top by Goldzig, and then Batuka, and then the concentrate. Hassan's going past Bios here for P12. And he's going to do it. Bios is using too much pace at the start, it looks like. As further, it looks like the DRS is going to be activated now. No one's making moves yet. Yep, so no one's going to be making moves yet, it looks like. But Jericho is just eating out a gap. He's now 1.5 ahead of Ferry. 4 attempts already. His setup is so comfortable, it looks like, and he's just easing it slowly and slowly ahead. Which Ferry just can't do anything to this pace ahead of him. And obviously Melberg, and then Melberg's now got a train phone behind him, all the way to Watinio in P10. No, it's just going to be interesting when battle straight line speed comes into play. Because Watinio is definitely going to be staying behind these guys as long as possible before he starts making moves. But I'm curious if Goldzig's going to make a move soon, because he's been all over Melberg since the start of the race. And I see he's got much more ERS too, so he could get him here on the start-finish line. Jericho leads lap 4 by nearly 1.7 now when I say that. Now I'm going to stick up with Melberg because he's going to be under attack by Goldzig and maybe even Batuka. Because that's how the straight line speed is. Goldzig's going for it, takes the inside line and clears it before the corner. He couldn't do anything about that stream, and oh, Batuka's in the back of him! Batuka's missed his break point and slammed in the rear of Melberg. I think Melberg's got rear damage. His core's twitched there. And Batuka is now gone from lead on the podium to now to P6. Yellow flag! That's Hassan! It's Hassan out, or has he got damage? He's kept it going. And he's thankfully going to keep it going, thankfully. No safety car at all. But Batuka's going to drop like a stone now. He's definitely got front wing damage. And that's Watinio spun! The guy who has the best position spins out! Now Masiek takes his place, along with living out behind. Oh, as I said, obviously that was all getting bumps to Batuka and then loses it. Here comes Kai. Is he going to attack his teammate? Oh my, this is only lap 4. We've already had about like 6 things happen. So, oh, okay, it's going to be interesting. But the biggest advantage of Masiek, he doesn't have DRS in any of the cars now. But he has a gap built big enough as there goes Batuka. He's letting the cars past him. Because he knows he shouldn't battle him with right wing downwind, which is the right thing to do for Batuka. And Kai's all okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 now. The position. Batuka is definitely going to be pitting now, but he's going for hards or mediums. Oh, as now we start lap 5. Jericho is now 2.2 ahead now. He's just eating a gap still. As that Batuka is going to pit, I'm curious what tyres for though. Let's see if anyone else is up close enough. As Kai did get past 1, 2, 3, 4 there for a P6, P7. Will there be an attack here now? Batuka's gone for mediums, so he's going to try and stretch them to the end of the race. Bit of a bold statement, but if he feels he can do it, let's see if he can do it. We've had crazy strategies. But Ferret is keeping his pace good enough to keep Goldsec behind. Obviously, now he's going to be attacked by all the guys with DRS behind him. Hassan pits also. I'm guessing for hards to the end now? Oh no, he's pit mediums also. So he pit for another pair of mediums. But you never know what's going to happen in his race, so that's why Patuka's probably gone for mediums, because then he can run a soft or hard if needs be. But Patuka, Jericho is just eating away and happily going away for Ferret and all that. But I'm going to be curious how the train, obviously, because the train is cut now. Obviously, Tapper is now the end point of the train. And Tapper and Murphy have got a lot of ERS compared to these guys. So they could be pushing for another lap before they pit. We are now on lap 6 now. Jericho still leads really handsomely now, 2.3. Now, Golddigger's managed to keep ahead of Malberg such much good bargain. Oh, I literally couldn't talk there. But Melbourne is probably going to be reported for that incident with Patuka, since that's ruined Patuka's race. He's P15 now. And it's let's see the gap actually. He is now 36 seconds behind Jericho. Obviously, remember, these two are drawn on points right now, so that is not going to help his quest for P2 in the championship right now. But Ferret's now starting to get drawn in. He's having problems with his tyres. Because Golding is starting to slowly pull him in. The gap was 1.3 before, now it's 1.1. And Jericho's pulled him in. Oh, he's not spun out. Oh, it's a click. He spun out on track. He's managed to stay off the racing line. But now he's down to P14. Oh, I'm curious. I wonder if Ferret must be struggling with his tyres already. Only on lap 6. Jericho, though, is going from strength to strength. Now it's 3.1 the gap. And yeah, Ferret's struggling a bit now. And he's got no ERS to attack now. That'll defend. But I'm curious about what are Tapper and Murphy going to do. They have more ERS than the cars ahead. Jericho keeps going. And yeah, Ferret is going to pull the gun. Oh, he's not. He thought about it. But he backed out of it. Even though he's got a handsome gap in the car behind, he's sticking to the left, to the right. And Murphy is sticking around as Martino gets past Eat My Dust in the final corner. And will get DRS also. So it's a double blow for Zolt there. He got over to Martino, but then didn't have DRS either. Lap 7 now. This is where the tyres are going to start feeling the strain. But Jericho is just handsomely getting away. Still, gap's 3.5 now. And Ferret is now in DRS window of Goldzig. So Ferret's set must be hard and soft, so maybe easier on mediums. And Slippy and Sarakai spun out on the final corner. He's waiting for a car to get past before he rejoins. Heads to the pits, and I'm hoping they won't retire because you never know what's going to happen at Bahrain. But Jericho is now 3.7 ahead now, and Ferret is now going to be under attack by Goldzig to make it a 1-2 for Mercedes today. We still have all 18 runners here today in the race. Bios is under attack by F1 Champ, I can see on the map. But I'm curious, is Jericho going to pit or is he going to keep pushing his tyres? And Jericho, yep, is going to keep going. Lap 8 will not be his pit lap. Ferret. Yes, Ferret's going to change and his Gold is going to follow him. So they decided to pit early for mediums, I feel like. So now it's Malfi and Melberg and a Tapper. now who lead. Now I'm curious, is Champ going to get past? As there goes the mediums for Ferret and Goldsy. And Champ's going to get past Bios here, but he has to pit soon from his softs, as there is now no one driving the Haas behind him. Great times. But let's see, as Ferret ahead, Murphy is sticking to Melberg now. But I'm curious, is Murphy going to go for another lap? Or is he going to be pushing like hell and then pitting for an undercut? But with that much ERS, he needs to start burning it, because Melberg, obviously, if he pits with him, he's going to struggle. Lap 8, and the gap's... Melberg's now 6 seconds behind Jericho, who's already lapped Sarakaya. Wow, I can't believe that. It's only 8 laps, and we've got 1 car down a lap. Oh, yeah, Jericho's struggling there as Batuki gets 3 seconds. I can see that Watinio is looking for a move of Bios. He's sneaking, he's gone to the inside. He's going to have the outside now. And contact Bios at the curb. Bios at the curb, and Watinio spins out again. And Jericho's pitting during all this. And Massey gets past Cappy by Kai. Malberg follows in. Now Murphy leaves the Grand Prix, and both are tapping. I feel like they have to pit this lap, but they have to push. Kai now pits. Champ does not pit. I thought he would have pitted, obviously he was early, but now his teammate obviously ahead. He's going to be caught by him during the pit stops. I'm curious, there goes Jericho, and he's going to be behind Zoltov. Eat my dust. So he's managed to keep the gap over handsomely with Ferret. Goldig and get past Matinho. But Jericho's going to keep his lead and going to be get another car between them now into P7. The Mercedes driver goes. Is this going to be his luck to rectify today, and with a race victory no less? But look at Tapper, he's sneaking up to Murphy so closely now. Murphy's starting to use the ERS because he knows he needs to push. Because the gap between the guys who have just pitted, that they were battling position with Ferret and Goldzig, this could be close to the pit exit. Because they are currently stuck in traffic because they had to get past Matinho, Bios, and Melberg has fell down behind Matinho. Now, obviously, the top two have to pit, and I feel like Champ is going to go for another lap. But the fact is, that's the same with Adam, obviously, because he needs to push another lap. But let's see what Tapper and Murphy do. Murphy's not pitting. A Tapper is though. So that means Kieran can pit if he wants. Massix in P3 on mediums, and Adam, obviously, I completely forgot Adam was on mediums. Kieran's not pitting either. He's going to keep pushing. But look behind him already. Jericho's in P7, and you can see Champ currently in P4. He's catching Bios on 9-lap mediums. But Massey has a goal opportunity for some great points here today. He's only 7 seconds off the leader, but his tyres are going to be in the better condition now. As further back, who is that? That is Ferret and Goldsy going to be fighting for P2 now. Ferret thinks about the move, but doesn't go for it. Goldsy is going to hold him off here. Further back, Watinio and Melberg are now battling. Watinio is just trying to hold cars behind him after 2 spins here today. The first one was his own fault, unfortunately. The second one wasn't fully his fault. But that's just my view, as look at Jericho is sticking to Bios. He is definitely going to get him past here. And Jericho's going to use his ERS and DRS and go past him into P5 now. And now he's only got F1 Champ, who still hasn't pitted from softs after spinning out. It's been a good recovery drive into P4 now. But his softs are going to be well past their date now. And let's see, Mercy, is he going to pit? Yes, Murphy will pit this lap now. So Maciek will take the lead of the Grand Prix, where Matinho's going to be. And Adam is P2 on the alternative strategy. Is Kira going to pit now? Yes, he is, but he's going to be held up by the double stop. And Jericho thought about it. I completely forgot the slipstream in there. And look at this massive cars. Matinho, Tapper, and Melberg all battling. Matinho's D-rating already on lap 11. And he's going to be under Tapper. Tapper dives to the inside. And there, that was Murphy coming out the pits. And Murphy's going to put no contact between Malberg and Moutinho. But Murphy's going to lose the position he's been fighting with. A Tapper's undercut works the treat. As Gold's got past to Eat My Dust. Ferret hasn't, which is going to hold him up for about a sector. Unless he's going to make a dive, but Eat My Dust on the hards, remember. 10 lap old hards, Dad. And this is when Goldstick can get away to cement P2. And Zolt's breaks himself, and now Ferret's side by side. Goldstick now needs to get the gap built before Ferret catches back up to him now. As Ferret is just out the second mark right now. So Goldstick might owe Zolt a favour for that. But now he's got to get past the Haas of BIOS now. And he's absolutely pushing to get past him here. Is he going to get past him with DRS? Ferret's going to have DRS also. We'll have to see how it is. Jericho is currently only 3.3 seconds behind P2 and nearly 5 seconds behind the lead after pitting. That's how good his pace around here is today. As there goes Goldick past BIOS. Now Ferret's got another car to manoeuvre by. But BIOS is going to have DRS off him now. Further back, a Tapper and Malberg are battling for P8. And Malberg gets the position back on off Tapper. But let's see if he's going to get back on the DRS. As further ahead, it looks like Ferret's going side by side with BIOS. Ferret's going to break later and cover the move. He is sticking the gold ziggle back. We'll go back and forth. The Tapper did not go for a move. So Masick still leads by 1.7 over Adam, but Jericho is just slowly hunting these two down. They knew that they're going to be attacked by Jericho, but remember Jericho's already pitted and going to the end of the race on these tyres. Unless something happens. Goldzig has just tried to hold on to the 1-2, but Ferret's just sticking to him. But he doesn't have much ERS to attack. Next guy is BIOS, obviously battling Eat My Dust on the hards. Then Malberg and a Tapper battling for P8 on the road right now. And then behind them with TDO and Murphy. Murphy obviously just came up behind the scrap for the battle there. Trying to be backing up, but he lost a lot of time with Electra Apple. TDO was going to defend the inside very surprisingly. And he is not stopping Murphy. That's because Moutinho's gonna I see what he did there, Moutinho. Zolt gets passed into P6 of BIOS. Murphy is going to be under attack for Moutinho, who has DRS, no ERS, so he's going to look for the move on the inside. And he's going to do it. Moutinho holds the position with a little tactics there going on. And look at this, Ferret all over Goldzig now, but he just can't get the move done. Ferret doesn't have much ERS to get past him fully. And Goldzig's putting a solid performance today. Holding off the likes of the Turkishman of Ferret. Well, lap 13 now, we're nearly halfway through this race. Masick still leads. After making a great start from... Where did he start actually again? He started in P13 into P1, along with Adam, who started on the same row as him. And they've managed to get into P1 and 2 respectively. Eat My Dust also 11 positions in P6 on hards. So you've got a lot to play for here as Murphy gets past Moutinho finally. This time Moutinho, I think, isn't going to fight back because he won't have the cornering speed as Murphy does. But let's just see as there he goes. Ferret, obviously, I'm going to go back and board him. He's close right up to Goldzig. But he doesn't have much ERS to play around, and DRS obviously. Goldzig defends the inside, but Ferret might have enough speed to get alongside him here. The Ferrari's flying, he's going for a move, he looks for it, but he backs out, oh, he's contact! Goldzig lost the car for a second, that might have cost him time here for the second DRS section. He rides the curve in here, Ferret's going to be on him. Goldzig going to defend the racing line, Ferret goes to the inside! And Ferret's going to do it, Goldzig going to come back at him! They're going to be side by side in the sector 2! And Goldzig just backed out of the move there. But now, look at Jericho, he's all over Adam now, of Liver now. into for P2 right now. He knows he shouldn't have to push too hard past these guys. But at the same time, Jericho is going to have his stay. But Ferret now is going to be under attack by Golding, who has DRS now. And obviously, remember, Ferret doesn't have much ERS. He tries to dummy, but it doesn't work on Ferret. And look at Jericho sticking behind Adam here, who's struggling for grip. And there is Sarakai, who could be going down a lap again down. The blue flags will be shown here, as now he must let the cars be past him without hindering their lines. As now Jericho is definitely going to get past Adam for P2. But is Ferret going to hold off the charge of the other Merc? As Jericho gets into P2, Ferret's now going to attack, and there goes Golding, a double overtake for the Mercedes team. And who was that just pitting? Bios pits on the medium, Ferret goes back at him! That was a little bit of braking by Ferret to hold the move. But Golding hold him, he lost the car for a second. Ferret could be back past here. But he's just not going to have the best speed and will not get past. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. Kai and Cham in the rear! We've just caught back onto that. Cham's went into the rear of Kai and is going to have front wing damage. And there's there's yellow. It's Martinio again! He doesn't have a puncher, so it's not that. He must have just had a little half spin or something. As he's now behind Murphy. Unless it was Melberg. Oh wow, I just realised Murphy's caught up to these guys really quickly. But the blue packs are still flavouring, and Sarakaya still hasn't moved out the way from Masiek. Yes, he's a ghost car, but still you've got to follow the rules and let the cars pass behind you. You should really let them pass here. As Melberg gets past a Tapper, as these two have still not stopped scrapping here. And Tapper, that's why! Tapper's gone wrong with Tapper's wheel! He couldn't shift out of fourth gear! So Tapper's gonna, it was a technical glitch, is gonna lose 3 positions! He's gonna be fuming with that now. He's lost time to Murphy and Melberg ahead. And Albertino also got past him, but obviously he's got a lot of ERS, and Ferret's going for the move on the inside again! Little contact! It's going to be side by side now, but Ferret's going to have DRS, remember! So Golding's going to use ERS side by side into the next corner! And Ferret's going to cover the line! But he breaks it again! Golding, is he going to get the move this time? No! He had a half spin! And he has to set up a P5 again! And Kai now gets a penalty also! As Bios is now getting past the I think a Tapper's wheel completely conflicted him there. So unfortunately, a Tapper's had a wheel issue, it looks like, and his wheels would not let him shift up. Because he was redlining it in 4th. Libanel will now have to lead the point. Tapper's going to have to hope for a safety car to get back into this race. But meanwhile, Jericho's all over Masiek now for P1. Masiek's been leading since all the soft runners ahead of him pitted. Jericho has pitted and already caught up in 6 laps. He's caught them off. And obviously he's still got another 13 laps to go. And here comes Masiek. Masiek knows what's going to be happening. Jericho's going to come flying past me with DRS. And it's going to be a bit hard. Jericho's just going to have the straight line speed and clears him before the corner. Jericho retakes the lead in the Grand Prix. And Ferret and Golding are still going hammer and toe. Oh, contact between Ferret and Golding. Golding hit the side pod of Ferret there. And he's had a backup move because he had contact. But these two put a huge scrap on. This is for the podium, remember. For P2. And neither driver is refusing to let up. Got back Murphy and Melberg. Murphy's got the inside out. Murphy's got the better run on the outside. But Murphy's going to hold it into P7. Staying out for 2 laps longer. It gives him 2 laps of fresher tyres. So this could benefit him now. Now next car ahead is going to be Eat My Dust and then Golding. As now the guys have now started catching the cars who need to pit still. Next is going to be Adam Libanel. And then obviously Ferret and Golding. Golding needs to stick to Ferret or the P2 is going to be lost to him. Mastick is doing a great job here. Obviously, very consistent on the mediums here today. And it's only a second behind Jericho, which is really good after one lap. With nearly 9 lap difference. But now Ferret and Goldzig are going to try this. Adam goes a little bit wide here. And then he's derated already. Goldzig knows he can get double overtake here. And there goes Adam's going to lose one position. And then there goes Goldzig. Is Goldzig going to go for a move? Oh, he's just pushing out of there. Just squeezed in there. I see he's pitted. Eat my dust, obviously. He's finally pitted. Is he going mediums to the end? Yes, he is. And further back, it looks like nothing else is going on. Just a battle for P6 right now. And obviously, Goldzig trying to catch back up as they've both got past Adam now. So now, the Ferret won't have anything hold to get ahead. As now, Tapper's gone fastest now. It just shows he had great pace here today. Unfortunately for that wheel issue. Oh, sorry. I had to let me take a breath. Patuka gets past F1 champ now. You know, I wonder if he loses the car for a second. Patuka's on the inside line now. But Champ's going to have big DRS because of the... Oh! It's just a little squeeze from Patuka. But Kieran's going to have DRS and takes the position. But obviously... But Patuka's not going to let this up. He's going to stick all the way behind the DRS behind Kieran. Remember, Patuka is on 6 lap older tyres than Champ. But Champ's car is sliding everywhere, you can see. So his setup has very unbalanced his car. It's unbalanced his car a bit. Now here comes Goldzig. Is Goldzig going to make it round 6? Yeah, there he goes side by side. Goldzig gets in, takes the inside line. And then Ferret's going to be behind just. Murphy is still battling for Malberg. Now Ferret's got the outside line, but Goldzig's backed out. As a lot of cars are pitting, Libenau's pitting for softs now, along with Routinho. So they think this is the right time for softs to the end of the race. And now Murphy's a bit of a move there to get his tyres warmed up, which is fair and allowed. Because he's allowed one move, then back to the racing line if it's clear. But, Routinho and Libenau on softs to the end, which one of them could get fastest lap here. And Routinho's going to come out this huge straight here. It's 4 cars battling for position. This is only for P14. And Routinho is getting pushed off track, goes left and then right. And into P14 Routinho goes. Well, it's one of those races I thought would be entertaining, but it's been surprisingly tame. We've had no safety cars, but on lap 19, Jericho's been absolutely storming today. But Mastick's done yet another solid job to keep them on. There's 12 lap difference. The gap's only 2.5, which is really good. But obviously now Ferret's right behind Mastick. Mastick is going to pit this lap. Sarakai has got blue flags yet again for the Ferrets behind him, and Goldzig obviously. And he's not letting them pass yet, which is a bit strange. But Sarakai is going to try and hold these guys off. And as Murphy and Melberg yet again, P4 and 5 switching between these two. These two have been hammer and toe ever since Murphy managed to get the pit stop window on them. As further back, Kai and Patuka and Champ all battling for P6. Oh, Kai spins! It's now gone from 3 to 2. And yellow flags are out for Kai, but he's managed to keep it rolling. Mastick picks on softs. Now it's from P9. And he stayed ahead of Libenau, who went for the undercut. So these two aren't going to get points at this rate. Oh, I don't know who's actually going to get the podium at this rate, because Ferret and Goldzig have managed to get past Sarakai, who's let them by. Libenau gets past 1, 2, 3, 4. So now both these guys are in the points now. But now how much further can they push, because they've got Patuka, Kai and Champ within range. And then Murphy, if they get this, as Kai now gets 3 seconds again. But Goldzig and Ferret are still battling tooth and nail. And this is only for P2, remember. Jericho is long gone, 3 seconds ahead of these guys. But they all put on the same lap, remember? So as here comes Goldick, he's definitely going to make a move, but he needs to make a move stick here as he goes to the inside here at turn 1, and he's going to be ahead of Ferret this time. And he's going to hold him off, literally just breaking the toe here a little bit. Ferret's looking for the clean next time, trying to get DRS back here. Goldick, he's going to use a bit of DRS. Ferret's going to look for the move late here, and side by side, and Ferret yet again is going to hold him off. Ferret knows he can get taken on the front stretch, but he knows he can get it back. Routinho takes fastest lap. Batuka's pitted for softs now. So Routinho is now fastest car on track, so that will stop the clean sweep definitely for Jericho. Now let's see if he can pull an absolute monster of a last lap. Oh, sorry, my nose is left up. Let's see if he can pull an absolute mega last lap on the mediums. Obviously, Routinho is going to get a point out of this race, even in P12. Only Cappy has to pit, as I just cut that limit. I was going side by side here on the outside here. And he thinks better of it and goes in a break late and cut in for a better exit. And Kai is going to be under the... can't do anything against the pace of the Aston for the DRS. And he's going to be into P9 now, added into P8. These two, Massiek has always been brilliant all day. Into P7 at the moment. Honestly, you never know where you can finish with these softs. But the Jericho has just been a monster today, as Golding and Ferret are going yet again. Sarakai retires in the pits. Ferret's going to be breaking late, and Golding's going to get the better. Golding needs to hold him off this time. Oh, Ferret has a bit of a half spin. This could be what Golding needs. And Ferret's not going to be close enough this time. He can't get a dive done. They're back. Melberg and Murphy have settled their battle. Looks like Murphy is just managing to hold him off. Now, as use that spin. That's Slippy. Slippy's gone out. Oh, what the? Well, that's a bold strategy to say the least. Slippy came out and wet. I don't even know what to say to this. I'm lost for words. Okay, but Ferret and Golding are still battling side by side for P2 here. Ferret's got a bit wide there. Yellow flag. Oh, that's a tapper. He spins out unless there's something happened there, a contact. But he's going to lose a lot of time. But Ferret, obviously, and Golding are slowly actually catching Jericho now. Jericho's been sitting perfectly because he's not using any ERS building it up. While Golding and Ferret have been battling tooth and nail. Ferret's got more ERS now, so he might go for a push attack here. We've got lap 23, 6 more laps to go here at the Bahrain circuit. Malberg and Murphy are going to be battling to the end, it looks like, for this is only for P4. And Ferret and Golding are really the same, since these two have just not separated all race. But it's going to be to see who's actually going to finish ahead, and obviously how much the strategy is going to play out. As Murphy gets past Melberg, that's a bios out on the last corner on hard, so he's probably going to go soft to the end now, so we get fast as that. Ugh, man, I need that nose. Eat My Dust is battling with Tino currently. Eat My Dust on mediums, with Tino on softs. And Routinho goes around the outside into P11 now. As I've noticed again, the gap's now gone down by 5 tenths between Golding and Jericho. Jericho's not using any pace, but Golding has to use a lot to defend the guys ahead. If Golding wins this as an F3 reserve, that's something. That's telling you something that he's in the wrong tier. We're going to start lap 24 now. 5 laps of this race to go. Jericho still leads handsomely by 2.8 seconds over Golding and Ferret's battle, which has calmed down now. Murphy and Melberg, the gaps are starting to open up also for these two. Chaps miles back, but he's got Massiek chasing him down on softs, remember. So now it's going to be questioning, can he hold off the softs before they die? And he breaks a little bit. Masiek's all over him here onto the for the first DRS of the lap. As he's going to take the curve in, Masiek now needs to follow Champ now and get past before his tyres start feeling a bit off. And obviously Adam is not far behind these two also. So it could be good amount of points for Masiek and Libernal, Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo respectively. Obviously good points for Mercedes, and then obviously Merc with a great result, a double podium on the 1-2. And obviously this would prove something for Goldzig, the fact he's done his first race at Bahrain, and he's done this. And so only last one drive, which is Sarakaya, who retired after... retired in the pits, I don't know why I said that. Jericho is reinstated order as we are now literally onto lap 25, 4 more laps to go. Jericho leads by nearly 4 seconds. Yellow flag, I think that is Eat My Zult. As Masiek is finally going to get a move on F1 Champ now for P6 now. Masiek has been keeping up and blistering his pace into P6 now. Now, can he catch the two guys ahead of him? 5.4 seconds, but the softs for him are much quicker now. Murphy and Melberg are in their battle, so they might lose each other time. But Ferret and Goldzig might be settled now, because Goldzig is slowly inching away, while Ferret is building his ERS. If you know, oh, look at Goldzig! Goldzig spins out, and Ferret's is gonna take a P2 handsomely now. Oh, Goldzig has been absolutely beautiful all race. And one little mistake is unfortunately going to cost Goldzig maybe a Mercedes 1-2. Ferret is now unleashed. Oh, as Bios now takes fastest lap now. Libernal got 3 seconds. That's going to really hurt him for finish. Especially as Matinho is now into the points now. Oh, this is going to be entertaining. Matinho needs to cut 6 more seconds if he's going to get anywhere near Adam now. The finish points. Adam now needs to push like hell to build a gap up to hold position. But he has to deal with Champ and Masiek ahead. Both that have no ERS. Melberg and Murphy might be going for another round, these two. This is only for P4, remember. Yellow flags, that is as Eat My Dust, he spins out. Or was that Eat My Dust? No, that was oh no, that was Eat My Dust spun out. As Murphy is gonna pass. Oh, these two are just not gonna let each other go. 3 laps to go, and we don't know who's gonna be literally finishing where. And let's just say this is entertaining. But Jericho is drove an absolute smashing race. Eat My Dust with tyres in the pits after a great run in the hards to start with. Fortunately, we'll not finish the race now, so we're down to 17 runners now. Not 17, 16 runners, sorry. Oh man, we are down 5 seconds between Jericho and Ferret. We got 2 more laps to go after this. Jericho has finally let some pace out because he's trying to take fastest lap, I feel like. But he's not going to do it, I feel like, with Bios smashing it even further. Ferret, though, he's not catching up now with no DRS and all that now. And Goldzig is obviously, unfortunately, 5 seconds back now. So, unfortunately, unless a miracle happens, he unfortunately will not be finishing. Is that I seeing something right? Yeah, I thought so. But looks like all the gaps have stabilised. The only gap we've got really on track is Murphy and Melberg. This is for P4 on track. And there's Goldzig. That's how close because that spin. And Melberg isn't going to be close enough for a move here. Remember, Melberg has to make a move soon because with 2 laps to go, this is only for P4, remember. Unless Goldzig decides to retire because he's an F3 reserve, but I don't think he will. Yellow flag, that is now Slippy retiring out of the race. We are now down to 15 runners at the end. 5 people will not get points. unless you get fastest lap. But Murphy and Malberg are the closest on track. Currently, this is for P4. All the divisions look to be certain unless punches start coming into play. Because Bahrain's one of those tracks where the punches will randomly. But let's just hope that we don't have any of them, because it'll be disaster for some of these guys, of course. Jericho has got one more lap to do after this. And he has led almost every lap of the Bahrain circuit today, as there is... Well, Slippery G's car has decided to drive out the pits and stop on track. Great play by the AI. Ferret is just losing more time, so Ferret will take P2 and will take P2 in the standings also. No, he won't. Am I being stupid? So this finish, Jericho would actually Jericho would literally be 95 points, hands be ahead. And Libanow and Kieran are now battling for P7 now. As Adam obviously is on softs, Kieran though is trying to hold on to this. As Massiex pulled away on those new softs into P6. Now Leclerc gets past his lap now, as he gets past Tafu, who's picked for fastest lap also. This is when the fastest lap runner, but Massiex is only 2 seconds off the guys ahead of him. So he's been absolutely driving with his head down and has managed to catch up to these two who are still battling. Obviously, so Massiex could be a key factor if something happens here. Now, is Adam going to get a move here for P7 done now? But remember, Adam unfortunately has to build a 3-second buffer if he gets past him to hold his position, unfortunately. Alright, Jericho is now going to start the final lap of the Bahrain circuit here, and this could be his chance when his luck finally comes to fruition. He's nearly 7 seconds ahead of Ferret as we start into the final lap for the Mercedes driver. Ferret is coming out of the pit as there comes Bios, who's going for fastest lap also. And I'm hoping Bios will stay out of the way. Thankfully, Ferret's going to get past him. And this is going to be the battle. Murphy and Melberg, this could be the chance. They've got 2 more DRS seconds. Adam gets past Kieran. And Kieran's going to send it! Side by side of the corner. Adam's going to have the better because Kieran's going to have DRS. Now Chap is not literally going to battle this on track. He goes to the outside and he has the straight line speed to take, but Adam's going to brake late. And Kieran's going to squeeze the door. Chap holds position, but Adam's going to go side by side. That's a crazy move by the... Oh, he thankfully backs out of the move. But that was a really good race by those two there. Especially because these two are normally in a party chat together. But now, obviously Melbourne, I don't think he's going to do it. He's slowly dropping back now. So Murphy, I think, is going to win the war between these two for P4. But one guy who's finally going to get his just rewards this season. Jericho's had so many retirements and misfortunes. But today, at the Bahrain circuit, it's going to come all back. And Jericho is going to win the first race of this season. In the Mercedes this season. Ferret's going to do another great drive to get another podium here in the Ferrari P2. And Goldzig from F3 will get onto P3, unfortunately, after a titanic battle for P2. Then Murphy, Malberg, Massiex. Wow, that was a great run by Massiex. Only be that close. Champ's going to get on the line and I'll never change. Watino gets P9, Kai gets P10. Two F3 drivers get points today here. Patuka P11. Obviously the fastest lap is still on Bios. Goes to the line. Hassan's next. And then a Tapper who could take fastest lap here. Away from Bios, he's already finished. So a Tapper's going to be the last car to finish now. Is he going to snatch the fastest lap away and to get a point out of this race? And yes, he does! So that is the finish. And there's the driver today, Massiex. Great recovery drive here today by Massiex. Started mediums and absolutely minced it, but Jericho dominated here today. There was nothing stopping him today here. And he gets his first win of this season. It's a Mercedes 1-3, but it could have easily been a Mercedes 1-2. Unfortunately, Goldick span out on the curbing. As we'll just jump to the results now. As there is Jericho winning his first race in season 8 seconds ahead of Ferret. And then Goldick managing a P3. Murphy P4 in the McLaren after a brilliant battle with Melberg all race long. And then Massier, Champ, Adam, Martino and Kai finished the points off. Batuka, Leclerc, Hassan, a tapper gets fastest lap on the final lap. Bios, Eat My Dust, Slippy, Sorikaya. So that was well, it wasn't as entertaining as I thought it would be, but it was a nice seeing one of our familiar drivers get back onto the top step. Whew. Well, obviously, I would do interviews, but I have something to go and attend to straight away after this, unfortunately, again. So, just don't forget to like, subscribe if you like watching this. We have the F1 race, which is our top tier for PSN, tomorrow here at Bahrain. And let's just hopefully people will watch that tomorrow. Obviously, we'll be me with Tidio on the commentary. So, it has been just me, Luke. I say goodbye and obviously hopefully see you next week or tomorrow.